Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Wednesday, January 12th at 1 p.m. here in Northern California. And we've got a nice bounce here on the crypto charts. Looking at the Bitcoin chart, it looks like we're trying to retest the 50-day EMA, which is strong and a good sign. Before we get into these charts, just to let you know what I'm going to cover today, I'm going to look at BTC, BCH, XRP, THETA token, MATIC, Chiliz, and I'm going to see if I have time to get to VRA and Atom. And then after that, I got a few other charts that I'm going to cover in a members-only video for the members of my Patreon community. And those assets include NEO, HOLO, XPRT, FTM, XDC, Look, and Ocean. These were the charts that were requested by the members of my community, and so I'm going to take a look at those charts in a separate video for them. Also to let you know that the Titanium members of my community are going to have their first group session next Thursday. So if you're interested in joining that group and you want to be in that session for question and answers, consider checking out my Patreon community and joining at the Titanium level, or just get your feet wet at the $19 level. Get the whole cryptogenic portfolio and strategy, and if it doesn't work for you, bounce at the end of the month, totally fine. All right, let's take a look at this Bitcoin chart. As I said, we've got a nice bounce here. We came right down to this level of support, touched it, and then bounced, and not only bounced above that level of support, but broke right through the next level of previous support, which became resistance. Now we're coming up to the trend line, and we're testing that trend line. Really, we're trying to see if we're going to come back up and break above the 50-day EMA. As I said before, over here in this last pullback, the 50-day EMA was the support. We kept wicking beneath it, wicking beneath it, wicking beneath it. We closed one candle beneath it, but the very next week, we broke strongly back above it and have been above it ever since until last week. We closed a candle beneath it. And if you see, we did the same thing. We wicked beneath it, and then it was just support, 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 and then boom, we capitulated beneath it, and now it looks like we've got a bounce. So we've got 4 days left to see, are we going to break back above the 50-day EMA, or is the 50-day EMA going to be continued resistance? Looking at the same chart from another perspective, just kind of zooming in here a little bit more, we've got the 21-day EMA, which is really what we need to be above if the bull run is going to continue. We've got the 50-day EMA, which is the current level of resistance that we're trying to break back above. But if we can't get above the 50-day EMA and the correction continues, we're going to have to come down and test the 100-day EMA, and down below that, we've got the 200-day EMA. Now, historically, when was the last time we tested the 100 and the 200? We'd have to come all the way back over here to March of 2020, and that's the last time we touched the 200-day EMA. We closed one candle beneath it, and then we wicked above it, but it was resistance for 2 consecutive weeks. Finally, in that third week, we broke strongly above it, and it became support. And we have not broken down beneath. We haven't even come close to the 200-day EMA ever since then. So if you want to talk about us entering into a bear market, there were certain indicators that we looked for, like lower highs in the RSI. We're seeing that. But in order to confirm it, we need to see, number one, we need to remain beneath the 50-day EMA, and then we need to come down and break beneath the 100-day EMA, and then finally the 200-day EMA. But the beautiful thing is, even in these major pullbacks here, we've never remained under the 200-day EMA for long periods of time. So over here, this is November 19th, 2018. We closed beneath the 200-day EMA. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 weeks under the 200-day EMA back in 2018. That's a long period of time to be beneath the 200-day EMA. But once we broke above the 200-day, it was boom. I mean, if you kind of zoom in here and see what happened, boom, we break above the 200-day EMA, and that brought such excitement and exuberance to the market that it set us off on this major bull run here. And so, if we do break beneath the 200-day, if we do, I don't see it happening. But even if it's a bear market and we do come back down there and test those areas, we're simply rearing up for our next breakout. We've got to think long term. We've got to think long term on these matters. And if we think long term, and you know, one thing I wanted to share is I Trust Capital. I'm going to be talking more about I Trust Capital, where you can open up a crypto IRA. You could even move your current 401k there or IRA there. The thing I like about investing in crypto on I Trust Capital is you're forced to think long term about it, because you're not taken out of there until it's time to retire. And so moving your IRA there or your 401k there and converting it to a crypto IRA, it forces you into a long-term perspective. And that's really what we need with these assets, is a long-term perspective. I've got a link I am an affiliate of iTrust, and I've got a link in the description if you're interested. I'll talk more about that in the days to come. But yeah, we need to think long-term about these assets, and specifically BCH is one that we need to think long-term about. Now, as we see, we've come down to these levels of support, or at least the first one, in between the first and the second one that I identified, and we need to see where the bottom is of the RSI. Is my chart still? Yeah, my chart is still acting up here. Let me see if I can refresh it. Oh, we got a bounce there. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, that chart was not updating. So yeah, we got a bounce down here at this level of support. Look at this. I did this multiple times because it wasn't working. But we got a bounce down here at this level of support. And now we just need to break above this line. So we're kind of making a triangle here. Just in a little triangle. Are we going to bounce around in there, or are we going to break above this line? But we got a nice little bounce. We touched that line of support, and we got a bounce, and that's nice. That's good. But we need to break above this trend. I wonder where the 50-day EMA is. Let's see. We could change that input to 50. Boom. Yeah, see, we're way below the 50-day EMA. We're not just below the whole suite indicator. We've capitulated beneath the 50-day EMA here. And if you notice that at that moment when we capitulated beneath the 50-day EMA, boom, it was pretty devastating. So we need to break back above the 50-day EMA. And I'm anticipating that we should do that soon, hopefully. But we need a turnaround here, because this whole bearish, this whole huge bear flag here, it played out to some degree. XRP got a nice bounce there at support, 80 cents. Hidden bullish divergence still working there, expecting a bullish break from this, and this is going to take off. My target is $3.80. Same thing here with THETA token. Got a nice bounce there. We had broken down beneath $4, which is crazy. I mean, we were down in like the $3.67 range, which anything under $5 for THETA token is money. It's money in the bank. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's just my opinion, but it's strong. MATIC is testing the top of this range here to see if we could break above. And once we get a nice breakout there, we're going to head towards this target, I believe. Looking at the RSI, we're just waiting for the RSI to break out towards the top of this line. And then we're going to break out pretty strongly here, I believe, with MATIC. MATIC is strong. Chili's. I haven't looked at Chili's in a minute. But all looks well here. We're continuing to build this bull pennant. We're making higher lows. Hidden bullish divergence is evident there in the RSI. Once we get a strong breakout there, this thing is going to go mad. I just anticipate madness on the Chili's chart. Same thing for VRA here. What's happening with VRA? Yep, I anticipated that we would come down and test 1.9 cents. We didn't come down that low. The lowest we got was 2.2 cents. And now we're retesting that trend. We got a bounce in the RSI that was a little higher than I anticipated. I thought we might come back down to that line. But the fact that it's bouncing sooner is a good sign. We might even want to redraw. Yep, we could even redraw this trend. Sometimes the trend is just not done developing and we draw the lines too soon. So we could even redraw this trend and say, that were right at support, and we bounced at support, really. Just waiting to get above this Hull Suite indicator. But all looks well here on the VRA chart. Atom is just beastly. I mean, Atom is trying to make a new all-time high here. I mean, look at this. First of all, look at even the MACDs are turning bullish. Look at that. We got a breakout in the MACDs. We've got a solid bounce in the RSI, and it's moving up in a nice bullish progression. And then look at this beautiful green candle. There's very few charts right now that are showing us what Atom is showing us. And so Atom is very strong there. And then I'll give you NEO, and that will be it for this video. NEO, what is NEO doing? Man, I haven't looked at this chart in a minute, so I need to start over here and figure out what we're seeing here. There's various ways of looking at this. Okay, so one way of looking at this is, actually, let me get rid of this and see if I can do it a different way. Yep, that's what it looks like here. So basically, yeah, we're just at this floor, right at this level of support. And we bounced there, and now we're in a triangle, which is a falling wedge, which is bullish. So if we get a bullish break out of here, that should be strong. And then, just like everything else, we've got descending RSI, which means the RSI is winding up. Not sure I would call this hidden bullish divergence, simply because we got lower lows here. Same time we got lower lows here. So this would be inconclusive in that regard. However, this falling wedge in the RSI is inherently bullish. I mean, it's inherently bearish, but ultimately bullish. These falling wedges tend to break out on the bullish side. So I think there's a good chance we get a bullish break for NEO. It's just the volume is so low. We're seeing low volume on just about everything. Yeah, look at this. On Chili's, the volume is almost nothing. MATIC, the volume's almost nothing. THETA token, the volume's almost nothing. And so if you look at what's happened with MATIC, for instance, over here, look at the volume that we had. And it's crazy because this pump in the volume here, the volume was lower over here where we were making our all-time highs. The volume was higher here. And so it kind of started this engine that caused us to take off. And so we need some volume. We need some volume in the market as a whole. And once we see some major volume, we're going to see some major progress. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. The rest of them is going to be in a separate video for my Patreon subscribers. Shout out to my Patreon subscribers. We're building the best community in the world, the best crypto community in the world. I've got some of the most amazing members in that community that I'm so thankful for. And I'm so thankful to each and every one of you for watching this video today. And remember, it's not financial advice, but I'm simply telling you what I think. And if you like it, please like it. But above all else, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.